They say dynasties don't collapse in the offseason, but if the Kansas City Chiefs believe they can just waltz into next season without reinforcements in the trenches, they are one snap away from getting exposed. Watch this video all the way through, because what I'm about to reveal will shake your confidence, challenge your loyalty, and make you question everything you thought you knew about this team's future. Smash that like button if you're still riding with the Chiefs. Drop a bold W in the comments if you've still got faith, or an L if you're starting to lose it. And don't forget to subscribe, because this right here, this is where the real talk happens. Let's get straight to it. No fluff, no filler, because time is something the Chiefs don't have. Not while the rest of the league has been laser focused on dethroning them since the confetti settled at Allegiant Stadium. And with the 2025 NFL draft looming, the pressure is more intense than a fourth quarter goal-wise stand, and the stakes, they couldn't be higher. This isn't just about patching a few weak spots. It's about preserving a legacy. It's about reinforcing the very bedrock that has carried Patrick Mahomes and crew through deep postseason battles year after year. That foundation lives in the trenches, the offensive and defensive lines. That's where championships are forged. That's where empires rise or fall. I don't care what colors you bleed or who your team is. If you know football, you know games are won and lost in the war zone up front. And as magical as last season ended, the cracks were showing, and the Chiefs know it. Brett Veach knows it. Andy Reid, oh, he knows it all too well. That's why this draft isn't just important, it's mission critical. Kansas City lost serious talent in free agency, and trust me, the league noticed. Defensive coordinators are licking their lips, dialing up exotic blitz packages, hoping the Chiefs don't reinforce that offensive line, because if they don't, that backfield becomes a battlefield. But this front office, they've built before. They've rebuilt with precision. This isn't some flash-in-the-pan franchise that lucked into greatness. This is a calculated, battle-tested operation that finds treasure where others see trash. The pressure is real, but so is the confidence. Because when the Chiefs scout, they scout with intention. When they draft with vision. That vision? Protect Mahomes, dominate the trenches, impose your will, win like champions. Now let's get specific. The Chiefs have 8 picks in this draft, 8 chances to reload, 8 shots to turn weakness into overwhelming strength. All eyes are on that 30 worst overall pick. So here's the question. What do you do when your QB is set, your tight end is elite, and your skill positions are solid? You build a fortress, you stack bricks around Mahomes, and say, nobody's touching 15 this year. And trust me, the word on the street isn't coming from fans or media hot takes. It's coming from rival front offices. The Chiefs are locked in on the trenches. Offensive tackle, interior line, and cornerback are high priorities, but lean in, there are whispers. Subtle murmurs you can barely hear, unless you're really paying attention. Running back. Don't be shocked. Isaiah Pacheco is a beast, no question. But this league is about rotation, about fresh legs, explosive cuts, and relentless pace. Keeping that backfield well-stocked is how you sustain momentum through an 18-week grind and into the postseason. Now, focus in on the tackle situation. Remember Kingsley Suamataia? Last year's bold second-round bet? That move told you everything about this front office. They're not afraid to roll the dice if the upside is elite. And this year, there's buzz about a guy named Simmons. Red flags, sure. Maturity, injuries, whatever. But some scouts believe he's got the highest ceiling of any left tackle in this class. That's not hype. That's real talk. And if any franchise knows how to polish raw talent into Pro Bowl powerhouses, it's Kansas City. Let this echo in your mind. The teams that win in January and February are the ones who draft with wisdom in April. This isn't about highlight reels. It's not about jersey sales. It's about grit, toughness, and trench warfare. And Kansas City, they've done it before, but yesterday's rings don't win tomorrow's games. This league doesn't care about your past. It cares if you're ready right now and every Sunday that follows. Let's get brutally honest. The AFC is a battlefield. Joe Burrow's coming back, Josh Allen's still hunting, Lamar Jackson's on a mission, and don't even get me started on Houston. That squad is coming. If the Chiefs think they can sleepwalk through the season without patching the gaps up front, they're deluding themselves. This isn't about surviving, it's about dominating, about evolving the dynasty, not watching it decay from within. So what are they going to do? They've got the draft capital, they've got the holes, and they've got the spotlight. What happens next? That's what this draft will decide. And yeah, I see y'all in the comments with your mock drafts, your PFF rankings, your hot takes on positional value at 31. That's cute. But this ain't just theory. This is war. But let me make something crystal clear. This draft isn't about value. It's about urgency. And what the Kansas City Chiefs desperately need isn't potential. It's power. They need protection. They need pressure. You secure those pieces, and suddenly Mahomes doesn't have to play hero ball every Sunday. Suddenly, Spagnuolo's defense isn't sending the house every down to create chaos. Suddenly, this squad starts to look like its peak self. Complete, balanced, and borderline untouchable. But don't for 1 second think the rest of the league is asleep. Kansas City's rivals are alert. Watching, studying, strategizing. They know exactly what the Chiefs need because they need the same things. Offensive tackle, interior guard, cornerback help. The difference, Kansas City has the blueprint. They've already paved the road. The others, still trying to catch up. But here's the danger. Catching up gets easier when you take your foot off the gas. And that's why this draft is a defining moment, a line in the sand. Step forward and dominate, or take a step back and watch the rest of the league fly past. And here's something else. This draft isn't just about filling out a roster. It's about making a statement to the AFC, to the entire NFL, to every scout, coach, and executive whispering, maybe the Chiefs are slipping. Wrong. You use this draft to shut down that narrative. You use it to reassert dominance. And if you get it right, you don't just win the West, you win the whole damn thing. Again. Now hold that energy because we're just getting warmed up. What you just heard, that was the appetizer. Now comes the main course. Buckle in. We're diving deeper into what this draft really means for the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me remind you of something easy to forget when you're sitting at the top of the NFL mountain. The wind hits harder up there. Every team, every analyst, every rival fan base, they're just waiting for that moment, the moment the Chiefs stumble, and not just waiting, they're actively planning for it. If you think no one noticed the offseason losses, think again. The Chiefs didn't just lose bodies, they lost production, chemistry, and battle-tested experience. The kind of intangibles that don't show up in highlight reels, but absolutely win you playoff games. Now it's on the front office to fill those gaps, not with developmental projects, but with impact players, guys who can walk into the building, strap on a helmet, and deliver immediately. And they've done it before. Reed Humphrey, plug-and-play Pro Bowler, Trey Smith, late-round heist, L'Jarius Sneed. Put some respect on his name. The resume is there. But this year, the pressure is heavier, the expectations are sky high, and don't ignore what's happening behind the scenes. You don't think Mahomes is watching? You don't think Kelsey and Chris Jones are paying attention? This draft isn't just about giving Andy Reid new toys. It's about showing your superstars that the front office is still all in. Because once franchise quarterbacks start making noise about personnel, you're already playing with fire. The Chiefs have to do more than say they're committed to 15. They have to prove it. Let's go position by position. Offensive tackle, that's not a want. That's a need. A protect Mahomes or miss the Super Bowl level need. You saw what happened last year. The second edge protection broke down. The game plan unraveled. Mahomes went from surgeon to survivor. And yes, he still found ways to work magic. But you don't want to depend on miracles. You want control. You want clean pockets. You want Mahomes upright, scanning the field, carving defenses apart. That requires bookends who can hold their own against the best pass rushers in football. And I'll say it again, Simmons is that guy. Is he raw? Absolutely. Is he risky? No doubt. But could he be the next elite blindside guardian for the best quarterback in the world? Without question. If Kansas City snags him and molds him the way they've molded their past offensive line gems, they won't just have solved a problem. They'll have locked down one of the most vital positions in football for the next decade. That's not just a good draft pick. That's a franchise-altering move. That's a pick that defines front offices. That's a pick that cements legacies. Now, let's shift to the defensive line, because if you think this league is just about, if your only plan is protecting your quarterback, you've already lost the battle. Because in this league, you'd better be able to pressure theirs too. Yes, the Chiefs have done it before, but this season is no sequel. The edge rush needs more fire. The interior, it needs muscle, grit, and raw power. In a league where quarterbacks are unloading the ball faster than ever, you need linemen who can collapse the pocket in the blink of an eye. You need disruption, relentless chaos. You need game wreckers who make offensive coordinators wake up drenched in cold sweat at 3 a.m. That's the mission. And don't think this front office is above doubling down. You grab 2 trench warriors early, no one's complaining, because trench dominance isn't just about 5 starters, it's about depth, rotation, and relentless pressure. The Eagles and Niners laid the blueprint. The Chiefs study it. And if you follow that formula, if you stack elite talent, you don't just compete, you overwhelm. You rotate fresh legs, you attack in waves, you leave quarterbacks stunned, muttering, "Where the hell did that pressure come from?" Now let's shift gears, because we've got to talk about the secondary, specifically cornerback. It might not be the flashiest pick on the board, but it could be the most critical. When you lose a lockdown guy like L'Jarius Sneed, your margin for error shrinks fast. Spagnuolo's defense depends on aggressive, physical corners who can press, stick, and tackle in space. Fail to replace that, and you're rolling the dice on every throw. And in the AFC, that's a gamble you do not want to make. Don't be surprised if a corner comes off the board earlier than expected. Smart teams don't wait. They anticipate. And yes, we're circling back to running back. It's not the top item on the priority list, but it's there. This team needs explosiveness. They need durable legs that can churn when the December winds howl and the game slows down. Running the ball still matters. Clock control still matters. Keeping Mahomes protected by handing it off still matters. So, if the right back is there, pull the trigger. No hesitation. But let's talk about what really separates this draft from the rest: the psychological edge. If the Chiefs walk out of Thursday night with a haul that screams dominance, the rest of the league will feel it. They might not admit it out loud, but they'll know. Because elite organizations don't just survive the offseason, they conquer it. And if Kansas City comes away with 2 trench monsters, a lockdown corner, and a home run hitter in the backfield, go ahead and book those flights, because we're headed for another deep playoff run. That's how real this is. And I need every single Chiefs fan watching to hear me loud and clear. This isn't just about crossing fingers and hoping a few rookies pan out. This is a moment of truth. You either reload and dominate, or you get outmuscled and outmatched. The AFC is not slowing down. It's a race, and you're either running with the Wolves or you're getting devoured. The Chiefs, they've been the apex predator, but now they've got to prove that the fangs are still sharp, that the hunger is still real. So, if you're wondering how this team stays at the top, this draft is your answer. The trenches, the secondary, the ground game. That's the formula. That's the blueprint. And if Brett Veach and Andy Reid execute it, we're not talking about rebuilding. We're talking about a full-scale, high-octane, take-no-prisoners reload. Before I let you go, let me leave you with this. Every dynasty reaches a crossroads. Every elite team hits that moment. The moment to either evolve or fade. The 2025 NFL Draft, that's Kansas City's moment. Will they rise again and remind the league who runs this, or will they hesitate and watch the pack catch up? That answer's coming fast. If you made it this far, you're one of the real ones. So hit that like button to keep this movement alive. Drop a W in the comments if your belief is unshakable, or an L if you're still not sure. We want to hear your voice. And don't forget to subscribe, because if you love the Chiefs, this is your channel. We break it down. We keep it raw. We stay locked in 24/7 for y'all. Let's get it. See you next video.